is the voice of Union Christian Public School.
The radio of UCPS. Your voice, your station, your pride.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Vox Populi, your very own school radio station. This is RJ Hannah
and RJ Jonathan
signing in.
This is definitely not just another ordinary episode. There is something special about this episode, isn't there?
Very much, Jonathan. We are talking about Independence Day, a day that reminds every Indian of freedom, courage, and sacrifice.
You know, Hannah, whenever we hear the words India got independence, we usually think about flag hoisting, patriotic songs, and celebrations.
True, but have you ever wondered what it actually felt like to be an Indian on that night, when the country finally gained freedom?
The atmosphere must have been unbelievable. People were celebrating, streets were filled with excitement, and everyone knew that they were witnessing history.
And in the middle of all this came a speech that would go down in history forever.
Do you mean Jawaharlal Nehru's famous Tryst with Destiny speech?
Yes, just before midnight, Nehru addressed the nation as India stood on the brim of independence.
The speech was about the responsibility that came with freedom, building a better India and serving its people. And one of the most famous lines from that speech begins with,
"Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny."
And then came midnight.
The clock struck 12.
And India stepped into a new chapter.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
Well, that certainly invoked a deeper sense of patriotism in me.
Me too. And that makes me wonder, what did the people feel in that exact moment they found out India had gained freedom?
Well, you don't have to wonder anymore because we have Jyoti ma'am with a little memory.
I was always curious to know the feel of the people when India gained her freedom in 1947. I asked my dad, who was 10 years old then, on this, and he said people were celebrating in the streets. They were calling out, "We are free, we are in a free country, India has got her freedom." Laddus were distributed, they burst crackers. That's when I realized that at that point of time, it was not just freedom on paper. It was a freedom in people's voices, in their faces, and in the air.
Thank you, Jyoti ma'am, for sharing that wonderful experience with us.
Let's take a short break with a song that celebrates the spirit of our Indian tricolor and the pride we feel when we see it soaring high in the wind.
So enjoy this beautiful tribute to our national flag.
Here is Parvati with their song dedicated to the Indian flag. Thank you for that breathtaking rendition. Next, let's go through 79 years of an incredible journey from a newly independent nation in 1947 through a confident and innovative India in 2026.
On 15 August 1947, India woke up to freedom after nearly 2 centuries of colonial rule. But freedom was only the beginning. The task of building a nation had just begun.
In 1950, India gave itself one of the world's longest written constitutions and became the world's largest democracy.
The 60s and 70s witnessed the Green Revolution, helping India become self-sufficient in food production, while the White Revolution transformed India into one of the world's largest milk producers.
India's scientific journey reached new heights in 1975 with the launch of its first satellite, Aryabhatta. It marked the beginning of a remarkable space program.
From there, the sky was never the limit. Chandrayaan 1 discovered evidence of water on the moon. Mangalyaan made India the first Asian nation to reach Mars on its maiden attempt. Chandrayaan 3 achieved a historic feat of landing near the moon's south pole, and Aditya L1 began studying our sun.
Today, India is also making rapid progress in digital technology, from UPI, which has transformed digital payments, to world-class startups and innovations. India is shaping the future.
Our achievements don't stop there. Indian athletes have brought glory on global stages. Our scientists continue to innovate. Our armed forces safeguard our nation. And artists, teachers, entrepreneurs, and students make India proud every single day.
In 2026, India stands as one of the world's fastest growing major economies, a global leader in digital public infrastructure, a trusted voice in international affairs, and a nation driven by the dreams of over 1.4 billion people.
But every achievement began with one precious gift: freedom. Freedom earned through the sacrifices of countless brave men and women.
As students, how can we contribute to India's future?
By being curious learners, responsible citizens, protecting our environment, respecting diversity, embracing technology wisely, and serving our community with kindness.
Here's a thought to remember: the India of tomorrow is being built in today's classrooms.
As we celebrate Independence Day, let us honor our past, celebrate our present, and dream boldly for our future.
Next on the agenda, we have a few fun questions for our students: the future of India.
What does freedom mean to you as a young Indian, Drayden?
Hello everyone, I'm Drayden Daniel from class 3A. To me, freedom means being able to be myself, to have fun and dream big. I love that I can go to school, go cycling, eat my favorite Doritos, watch cartoons. Freedom means I can dream of becoming anything I want when I grow up, even a video gamer, a racer, or a famous YouTuber. But freedom does not mean that I can eat Doritos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It also means respecting others, following rules, helping people, and keeping my country clean. To me, freedom is having the freedom to dream. The courage is to be myself, and enough Doritos to make life awesome. Thank you.
What do you think young Indians today should remember about our freedom struggle, Joel?
India's freedom struggle showed many great qualities through the lives of its freedom fighters. V.O. Chidambaram Pillai showed courage by starting the Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company and standing up to the British. Bhagat Singh showed sacrifice by giving his life for the freedom of India. Mahatma Gandhi showed non-violence through the Dandi March, where people peacefully protested against the British salt law. He also showed humility through simple lifestyle, modest clothing, and equal treatment of all people. I think these examples of courage, sacrifice, and values of our freedom fighters should be remembered by young Indians.
As the future of India, what is one Indian tradition or culture that you would never want to lose, Ritanshi?
One Indian tradition I'd never want to lose is the importance we give to family and taking care of our parents as they grow older. I know I'm a Gen Z kid, so yes, I love my independence, technology, and modern lifestyle. But I also love that Indian families can be so close knit. For me, family bonding isn't old fashioned at all. It's something I genuinely value. Our parents spend so much of their lives taking care of us, so being there for them when they're older is just the way of giving that love back. I think we can be modern, independent, and ambitious while still staying connected to our roots. And honestly, that's the kind of future I'd want for India.
I agree with you, Ritanshi. Family bonding is something which is unique to Indians. What kind of India do you hope to see 25 years from now, Nityashri?
My vision for India in 2051 is that India should create millions of high quality jobs, provide world class education and healthcare, and become one of the strongest and most prosperous economies. And most importantly, I want an India that is clean, safe, sustainable, corruption free, technology advanced, and inclusive, where every citizen has equal opportunities to succeed.
Nathan, if you could change one thing about India, what would it be?
I would consider poverty and inequality in education as one of the biggest things I want to change about India. I feel like no one should have the struggle of basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. And every child should have the access to good quality education because that is their future and our people are the future. Regardless of their background, I think addressing these issues will give people a better chance in securing their future.
Thank you to all the students who took the time to answer all of our questions.
India's journey towards progress is not complete without recognizing the strength and determination contributions of its women.
Absolutely. From education and leadership to science, business, and social change, women across India continue to break barriers and create opportunities for others.
Today we are honored to have with us Ms. Aruna Nair, who will be sharing her thoughts on SDG 5 and Nari Shakti.
Hello, young listeners. Today's podcast is about Nari Shakti, the Sustainable Development Goal number 5 of gender equality. We all know why it's obviously very important. Because sheer humaneness demands that we can't have one half of humanity lagging or oppressed, and also because all-round women's empowerment is crucial to the realization of all the other SDGs, to the nurturing of our present, all of you, and our future generations, to rising GDP, better nation building, to realize the vision of Viksit Bharat 2047 and beyond. The Indian Constitution has always enshrined in its fundamental rights, directive principles, and fundamental duties the principles of gender equality, safety, protection from discrimination, and from practices derogatory to the dignity of women. Key legislation, such as against dowry, domestic violence, and sexual harassment at the workplace, and other laws like improved maternity benefits, etc., have further amplified safeguards for women. Following the universal adult suffrage, earlier constitutional amendment providing one-third reservation for women in local bodies, we now also have a similar provision for women's reservation in the Lok Sabha and legislative assemblies, a major step forward for increasing women's role in political participation and leadership. There have been many government schemes which are women-oriented over the years, and the focus has shifted from treating women as mere beneficiaries of welfare to drivers of development. Through the Beti Padhao for education, various self-help groups for entrepreneurship like Stand Up India, and financial inclusion initiatives through Mudra loans, Jan Dhan accounts, Lakpati and Drone Didi, Sukanya Samriddhi, etc. The Poshan Abhiyan and Matru Vandan for better nutrition and maternity benefits, and Mission Shakti for women's safety, Mission Ujjwala for better cooking fuel and improved sanitation, housing, access to clean water. These are all aimed at enhancing the quality of life and opportunities for women. And as a result of all this and of several private-led initiatives, women's lot has improved vastly, and they are active agents of change impacting family, society, economy, and polity for the better. We can see for ourselves women's visibility and prominence in varied sectors, from the grassroots to the highest levels. In the railways, to which I belonged till recently, women are employed not only in clerical and managerial areas, but as loco pilots, station masters, technicians, supervisors, and in the courageous Railway Protection Force. All this visibility is certainly borne out by government vigors for increasing literacy and employment of women. But while women have indeed come a long way, the deep-rooted patriarchal bias of society and the difficulties in implementation of laws and schemes still causes women to face stereotypes and discrimination in the public and private spheres. The eventual goal should be complete transformation to internalize and make an inclusive, gender sensitive society that values women's self worth, self reliance, and equity as the entrenched norm. So, finally, as Gandhiji said, we all need to be the change that we want to see, to be committed to gender equality in principle and practice, so that Nari Shakti is truly a reality across all strata, segments, and regions. Ending with a big shout out for women power. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful bite. Ms. Aruna Nair has cleared her civil services in 1987 and joined IRPS, holding positions like Member Secretary, Railway Recruitment Board, Deputy Chief Personnel of Metro Railway, Kolkata, Chief Personnel Officer at Eastern Railway, to name a few. She retired as Director General HR, Railway Board, New Delhi in May 2026.
Last but not least, we are delighted to share our campus updates.
Sensen Paul of Grade 12 represented India and secured first place at K-Art International Youth Art Competition at Busan, South Korea.
This is indeed a proud moment for India and our school.
We are in conversation with Sensen Paul. Sensen, hearty congratulations for the exemplary achievement. Could you share your experience of this journey?
I feel truly fortunate to share my experience of participating in the K-Art Youth Exchange Art Competition in Busan, South Korea. Traveling to Korea for an international art competition was an exciting and unforgettable experience. Right from the beginning, I was filled with anticipation, meeting young artists from different countries, seeing their artwork and getting my opportunity to represent India through my own art. The competition was much more than just creating a painting. It was a wonderful platform for learning, sharing, and connecting through creativity. Every participant had a unique style and a different way of expressing their thoughts and emotions. Seeing their work inspired me to think differently and appreciate the many ways in which art can tell a story. One of the most memorable parts was interacting with the other participants. Even though we came from different cultures and spoke different languages, art gave us a common language. We could connect through ideas, our creativity, and a love for art. I also had the opportunity to experience Korean culture and understand how beautifully tradition and modernity come together in Korea. At the same time, I felt proud to share a little of my own Indian culture with the friends I made there. The competition taught me that winning is not the only measure of success. The real achievement is having the courage to participate, to express yourself, and to learn from others. I returned from Busan with more than just memories. I came back with new friendships, new ideas, greater confidence, and a deeper love for art. This experience has encouraged me to continue exploring my creativity and reminded me that art has the power to bring people and cultures together. When I finally returned to my homeland and found myself back among my own people, culture, and familiar surroundings, I felt a deep sense of happiness and belonging. It reminded me that while it is a wonderful experience to explore the world, there is something truly special about coming back to your roots. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful insight.
We have no dearth of talents and events to showcase.
True, Jonathan. Next up is our Sparks.
I like to actively take part in our culturals and put up with tough competition to gain points for my house.
Jonathan, we have come to the end of our Independence Day special episode.
But you know, Independence Day isn't only about looking back at our history.
It's also about looking ahead.
Because the India of tomorrow is being shaped by what we do today.
The freedom fighters gave us an independent India.
Now it's our responsibility to make it a better India.
Let's carry their dreams forward, not just on Independence Day, but every single day.
This is Jonathan,
Hannah, along with our
editor Ezra,
signing off from our very own school radio station,
Vox Populi,
promising you with more updates.
It's the voice of Union Christian Public School.
The radio of UCPS. Your voice, your station, your pride.